this video, we're going to work on our print and cut with a pictures inside text. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go create a new file. In this case, I have an 8.5 by 11 file, regular letter size piece of paper. From there, I'm going to go to File, Place, or Shift Control P. Navigate to my folder on the group drive, Print and Cut, and then Print and Cut Sample Photos. And you'll find Print and Cut 1, 2, and 3. And down on the bottom here, you need to make sure that you uncheck linked. So when you bring in your folder, your files, you will uncheck the linked folder. So hit Place. Now I'm going to zoom out so that I can click these and just drop them out over here. So they're off of my sheet of paper. From here, I'm just going to take the text tool and I'm going to click and I'm going to type KHS. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so I can kind of see what's going on. I like to use the font Collegiate Black FLF. Whatever font you pick, make sure you pick a font that has thick letters. You do not want to find a font with very thin letters like that. You won't be able to see your picture in it. You also don't want to find a font like this with there's double sets of letters. It should just be one solid black font, just like this. Once I have my font selected, I'm going to right-click, Create Outlines. Then I'm going to go to Object, Path, Offset Path. Now I'm going to say 0.0625, and then I must label it. I need it to be 0.0625 inches. Hit OK. I'm going to click off just to deselect everything. Then I'm going to click back on it. Now I have two sets of my letters selected. I'm going to right-click, Ungroup. Now, down here in the lower left-hand corner, down by my stroke and my fill and my toolbar, there's a little double-ended arrow. I can click that double-ended arrow, or as you can see, it says just hold Shift and tap X, and that will flip-flop them. Or I can hit this little button right here. That will flip-flop the stroke and the fill. What I want is I want a black stroke with no fill. From here, I'm going to grab my first picture and I'm going to drag it so it's behind. I can see my K there. I'm going to put this in the back here. I want to make it so that it's small enough I can kind of see all of the people in here. So I'm just going to make it smaller. And when I make my picture smaller, I hold Shift. So that way I keep it proportionate. From here, I'm going to kind of do it so it's a little like that. Looks good. Now, I have my picture selected. Now I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to click on the outside K just once, then I let go of Shift. Right-click, Make Clipping Mask. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the next one. Put this one right here. I'm going to make it a little smaller so I have my size that I want it. Put it where I want it to put it. Just looks great like that. Again, my picture's selected already, so I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to select the outside H. Now they're both selected. I can see the little blue liner on the outside of the H, and I can see the blue liner on the outside of the picture. Right-click, Make Clipping Mask. Now the last one, I'm going to grab this one and bring it up over here. I'm actually not going to make this one any smaller because I kind of like the way it is just like that. I hold Shift, but my picture is already selected, so I don't have to click on that. I hold Shift, I click on the outside letter, I let go of Shift, right-click, Make Clipping Mask. Okay, so that they're all, I should still see these inside letters. All the smaller pieces should still be there. Now, in my layers palette, I have one layer, and I have 6 things inside that layer. The picture of my S and my H and my K, and then the actual compound path of the S, the H, and the K. So from here, what I want to do is I need to make another layer. So I'm going to click on this little plus down here to make another layer. Double click that layer. This is going to be called Cut with a capital C. All I do is I double click on it. Print with a capital P is the second layer. All right. All of these compound paths must go up to the cut layer. My pictures stay in the print layer because I want my pictures to print. It's going to cut on this line. Now, I want that line to be inside because I want what we call a bleed. From here to here, that's going to be a bleed. The cutter is going to cut relatively close to this line. If I didn't have that line, it would just be right on the white edge. Like if I was going to cut here, if the cutter was off, then I may get a little white sliver, and I don't want that. I want it to cut right to the edge. Should be, in this particular KHS, there should be 3 in each layer. If let's say it was my name has 6 letters, so if I would have 6 in each one. Let's say if I was going to do Bowers, I would put 6 on here. There would be 6 pictures and then 6 letters because my name is that many letters. However many letters that you're going to do, if you're going to type Kimberly, that would be, you would have the same amount in each one. The cut layer can have no stroke and no fill. So I'm going to go to my swatches. My fill is already none. So I'm going to bring my stroke active and I'm going to tell it none. So there is no stroke and no fill on my cut layer. To select everything in the cut layer, I can just click on this circle. To select everything in the cut layer, I have 0 stroke and 0 fill in the cut layer. From here, now I'm done. Like my layers are correct. I've got the right things in the right layers. I've got no stroke on my cut layer. Now I just need to think, okay, so what size do I want to print this? Well, if I hit Control P or File Print, I can print it to the digital press to see if that's the actual size I want it to be. It's a little big, so I'm going to make it just a fuzz smaller. Remember, this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can hit Control R to bring up the rulers and right click on them and change them to inches. And then as I make it bigger or smaller, there is width and height marks on the side. So right now it's about 6.5 by 4 roughly. That's fine for me. I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to save it in my folder. So click on your name on the left side here and save it as in your folder. Okay, you save it as print and cut, whatever you want to save it as. Okay, once you've saved it, okay, so now I'm going to go File, Save As once again. Now I'm going to click on my name up top here. You're going to click on my name up top here. And then you're going to find the folder that says Print and Cut. And then inside the Print and Cut folder, there's a Student Print and Cut folder. And here I am going to save it as my name. So I already have a couple of files in here. Let's say you've made a couple already. That's fine. So I have Mr. Bowers and Mr. Bowers 2 in this folder. So now this one would have to be Mr. Bowers 3. So I hit Save. And I hit OK. Now, in order to get your print and cut printed, you have to go to my website, KimberlyTechEd.com. You're going to go to graphics printing or screen printing. You can go to either one. It doesn't matter. If I go to this one, the print and cut list is right here. That'll bring up this list right here. And on this list, this is where I need to write my name. So I will write Mr. Bowers 3 because that was my file name, was Mr. Bowers 3, and I want 2 of them. If you only want 1, just write 1. If you it doesn't really matter. If you want 3, write 3. Don't go crazy though, but print some stickers. Once I've put my name on this list, I am officially done with my print and cut sticker. I will print it and then I'll send it to the vinyl cutter and then you guys will applique tape it and all that stuff once you're done.